A very warm good morning, dear students. Today we are just going to learn about the non-finite verbs. That is actually as a part of your revision. And I think I have already told you the pattern of question paper. All of you are knowing the pattern of the question paper, right? So the first pattern means in the sense, first one, as you know, there will be an unseen passage. All of you are knowing, and so there will be some questions based on that chapter. Sorry, I mean the unseen passage. Based on the unseen passage, there will be some questions, and next one, there will be uh, a, a question for making an essay. So be prepared to write an essay. Maybe the present scenario situation based on that, or some essay topics are there in your book itself, textbook itself. Please just go through those things, and also be aware about the present scenario, okay and the relevant topics you can just know, and you can prepare according to that. And you know that the essay also is carrying 20 marks each, and plus essay is carrying 20 marks, and you need to know that. Then the next question is, what is the next question? Next question will be the letter writing. So be prepared to write both formal and informal letters. So you are knowing the format. I repeatedly tell you that when you are giving the salutation, you have to use dear sir. You have to use dear sir, and when you are ending, so yours sincerely. Sorry, you have to use yours faithfully. That will be the apt word. Yours faithfully. You have to use yours faithfully. With that you have to then you write the name, signature, all these things. They are ending the letter. So please follow the format, and please see that. Then after the letter, the format, so you know that there will be after the letter the exercise part is there, so that is clear. Be prepared for that. First one, you know that there will be an unseen passage. Based on that unseen passage, there will be questions, and you have to answer those questions. And then there is an essay writing. You need to write that. Then there will be the what we can say, after the essay you have to write the letter. So we'll revise this chapter right from the chapter 6, the non-finite verbs. So you know that non-finite verbs I need not explain to you, and these are actually those nouns is not bound or determined by the number and persons and the subject in the sentence. That is what non-finite verbs. And we have already seen kinds of non-finite verbs. Infinitives. Infinitive is formed by adding the preposition to the base form of the verb, of the finite verb. To form of the verb, only the infinitives. And we have examples already we had. Then again, structure of infinitives, it is given that is a full infinitive. And infinitive is preceded by what is a to is called a full infinitive. So that is it. And bare infinitive, and infinitive without to is called the bare infinitive. So examples are there. I need not tell you all those things, so you can just go through that. Then the next one is a split. What is that? Split infinitive. Then an adverb is put in between to and the verb. So adverb is placed there. The infinitive is split into two parts and referred to as a split infinitive. See, I request you to kindly. So, see here you can see to and an adverb is placed in between. So, I request you to kindly grant. So, there is a verb is that, where is that verb? Grant. Grant is the verb there, and to and kindly. To is okay, to is placed there, and after that there is an adverb also is placed there. Kindly is an adverb. So to and kind adverb is placed in between the verb. So that is it. And there is something is noted. Okay, the use of split infinitive to okay is infinitive is considered to be bad style of writing, and hence it should be avoided as far as possible. So it should be avoided as far as possible. Okay, there is a split infinitive should be avoided. So, and we have seen the use of the bare infinitive, those such as feel, hear, and make, find, watch, see, observe, let, etc. are always followed by the bare infinitive. So, I heard her scream in anger. They let us play in the park. So, these are actually the bare infinitive. Okay, and then we have the gerunds. A gerund is a verb with an ing ending, and it functions as a noun. So gerund is a, so you know the gerund verb plus ing form, that is what the gerund is, and the function of gerund is it is acting like an so it is acting like a noun. Okay, see, as a noun the gerund can occupy various positions in a sentence. Okay, you know that noun has got a different position in a sentence itself. So it has also got the gerund also is having different position in a sentence. You can see that subject of a verb, or okay, an object of a transitive verb, then object of a preposition, complement of a verb, absolute praise, in all these places. Okay, it can do its function. So then we are just moving. That is ing form. Gerund is a verb plus ing form. That is what the gerund is. And then we have next one is the participles. Participle. What do you understand by the participle? Participle is a verbal adjective. Actually, that is okay. Participle is a verbal adjective, and it looks like a verb but a function as an adjective only. Participle is doing the function of an adjective. We may feel that it is a okay verb. We may find it like a okay like a verb, but it is doing the function of an adjective. The participle has three forms: present participle, verb plus ing form. That is opening the door. She went out hastily. Okay. Then participle, past participle, present participle. Next one is a past participle. That is a past participle will be verb plus ed plus okay, maybe verb plus ed or a d or a t, en or n. That is what. Okay. So for example, it is given aroused by the shouting, I went to see what was happening. So okay, that you can. Then a perfect participle, another one. Present participle, past participle, and lastly the perfect participle. Perfect participle, what do you understand by this perfect participle? Having or having been plus past participle. Having said that, that is what. Having said that, having plus past participle, or we can say having been plus past participle. That way it is arranged. Okay, so I hope that you might have understood this. And then we have the exercises only. Please be thorough with the exercises. Okay, all the exercises. Okay, so you can so that you can score nice marks. Okay, so we move to the modal verbs. Modal verbs also is there, no? Modal verb also is there. So what is there in that modal verbs? What is the modal verb? Modal verb is a group of auxiliary. A group of auxiliary. Auxiliary means helping verbs only. Okay, and it is used to express a range of functions, the chief of which are ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. Ability, possibility, obligation, or obligation and permission. Okay, that is what the function of the modal verbs. Okay, so that is that is also be thorough with the what we can say, the exercises of modal verbs. Okay, so just go through this. That is what I want to tell you.